Hi there. Welcome to the GoGoGate installational video. My name is Adam, and over the next few minutes, I will be showing you how to quickly set up and enjoy your GoGoGate device and app. Now, the purpose of this video isn't to show you everything that the product has to offer, but to show you the 3 simple steps that it takes to set up and enjoy the GoGoGate device. Let's begin. First, let's talk about what comes inside the GoGoGate box. 3 cables already connected to the connector, some screws, a pair of wireless door sensors, a power cord, a Wi-Fi antenna, and the GoGoGate device. The first thing you're going to have to do is attach the cables to the door sensor. This is the only point in the installation process where you're going to need a screwdriver. Now, we always recommend turning off the power here, even though it's a low voltage. So you'll unscrew both screws that are attaching this to the wall. Pull it out. You'll notice that you have a red and a white wire. What you're going to want to do now is grab your cable and line up which cable you're going to use for the garage door opener. A good thing to do is to take the screws on the connector and put it against the wall. Let the cords hang down. You'll be using this device for that cord. What you're going to want to do now is take the cord in your hand and loosen each screw just slightly enough where you can slide this underneath the screw. Again, the connector can go to either colored wire. It does not matter. Once the screws are fastened and tightened, you'll be able to screw it back into the wall. You'll notice, though, that your garage door opener will have a slot on the top of it. As you line it back up into the wall, make sure to bring your cord back into the slot so that way you do not pinch the cord. Now what we're going to do is install the cables to the other 2 devices. Now that we have all 3 cables connected, we can install it to our GoGoGate device. I think it's important to mention, though, that if you weren't going to use all 3 cables, you could easily unattach them by unscrewing and pulling the cable out. Here you can grab your GoGoGate device, and I think it's a good time to install the USB connector, which black always faces out, and the power cord, which we already have plugged in. You will hear it beep. Plug in the device with the screws facing the wall. What you can do is you can screw it in. We do provide screws for you, but because the device is so light, we're decided to use Velcro right up against the wall. Now that the device is secure and fastened against the wall, let's talk about the LED lights on the front. Once the device is powered on the far right, a steady red light will appear. After about 40 seconds of being powered on, a green blinking light will appear. The other 3 are garage 1, 2, and 3. They will blink twice when you open and close the respective door. Believe it or not, the hardest part of the installation process is now over. But there are some things I want to talk to you about before we move on. The first one being is that these wires can be cut to any desired length that you want. The other one being is that this is just one type of many garage door openers out there. We have ourselves some other ones here so I can show you. This is the basic of the basic, and you would do exactly the same thing. You would unscrew it, pop it off. You can see here that it has the connectors, and you would do the same thing. Loosen them, slide in the connector, tighten them back in. Here it still has the slot, and you would just put it right back against the wall. Something that's a little bit more involved looks like this, but there's no screw on the front. You would pop off the faceplate, unscrew it in the front here, take it off, and you can see that the setup is still exactly the same. You would loosen it, slide in the connector, attach it back on, and pop back on the faceplate. And that sums up all of step 1. Let's move on to step 2. In step 2, I'm going to show you how to install the wireless sensor for your garage door. But now would be a great time to download the app if you haven't done so already. For iPhones, you would go to the iTunes Store, and for Android devices, you would go to Google Play. Now, let's look at the wireless sensor. On the front of the larger device, you will notice a 4-digit ID pin. This is very important for step 3. Do not take this off. On the side of it, the larger device, you will notice that one of them has a red line. The red line is important because that's the side that you're going to want to keep closer to the smaller device. The larger device will go against the wall, and the smaller device will go against the garage door. Let's talk about placement on the door. We recommend putting the device higher up on the door for two reasons. One reason being that there is less likely a chance for the device to get wet, and the other one being, while your garage door may look straight and even, there's a very good chance that it's not. This will keep it so there's less of a chance for the garage door to knock off the smaller of the two devices. Let's start with the smaller of the two sensors. On the back of the sensor there will be double-sided tape. Go ahead and peel it off so you can see the adhesive side. Put it against the garage door as close to the wall as possible without touching it. There you are. After that's completed, go ahead and take the larger of the two sensors. Remember, the red side closer to the smaller sensor. Peel off the double-sided tape and put it close but not touching the smaller sensor. And once the sensor is attached, that completes step 2. In our scenario, since we had 2 other garage doors, we've already attached 2 more sensors. It's important to note that in the installation kit, only 1 set of wireless sensors comes in there. But that doesn't mean you can't use the garage door to its full capacity. The sensor only tells you if the garage door is open or closed. You could always get more sensors at www.GoGoGate1.com. Let's move on to step 3. Now in step 3, let's set up the app that we downloaded in step 2. So your first time opening the app, you're going to notice 3 things. It's going to say no device, the 3 circles are grayed out, and it says not connected to the GoGoGate device. This is normal because you have not yet set up your installation. If you click on the settings button down there, you will click on begin your installation. Here you will see where you have to fill in several fields. Here you can name your GoGoGate device. For simplicity, we're going to call the GoGoGate device My Home. And for simplicity, we're also going to make our own password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has to be 8 characters long, and we highly recommend you picking something much more complicated. If your phone is connected to the Wi-Fi, you will notice that it will bring in your Wi-Fi connection already. It already found our Linksys connection. You must enter your password for your Wi-Fi. For simplicity, ours is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's a WPA connection. If yours is a WEP connection or an open-ended connection, you would select that option there. Next, you would put in the door sensor ID from step 2 when I mentioned to not take off the sticker on the front. I've already entered the other 2 doors' ID sensor numbers. On this last door, you'll notice that the ID sensor code is 02FB. On the sticker, it is capitalized, and your phone, it is not case sensitive. The last option you would do is then name each door. I'm naming this door Adam, A-D-A-M. The last option that you would do before installation is walking over to your device. Now we're ready to press start. But before we press start, there are some things I want to tell you. If your phone is on mute, take it off mute. It will help in the programming process. When you press the start button, there will be a warning to say there will be flashing lights. If you are photosensitive, please be careful. Hit continue. The next one is telling you that you have 5 seconds to take your phone and press its screen up against the right side of the GoGoGate device. You're going to want to hold it there for about 1 to 2 minutes, or you could always take the device off the wall and rest it on top of it after you press the OK button. So press the start button and put the screen face down.
Programming.
When you place your phone on the device, it will say programming for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. When it's done, it will say done and it'll beep 3 times. If it beeps once, or if it says done and does not beep, that means there was an error with the programming and you will have to do it again.
Done.
Now that the programming is done, it is beeped 3 times and said done. We could lift our phone up and see if it's asking us, did you hear 3 beeps? Now we could hit yes. You can return the GoGoGate device to your wall and then hit the OK button. On the back of the device, you will see a flashing blue light. That means that the Wi-Fi antenna is getting power. Your installation is completed. And that concludes the instructional video for your GoGoGate device and app. I hope you found the video useful, and if you ever need any more information on how to add any more sensors to your garages, add a second house to your app, allow friends to access your house while you're away, or you could access your GoGoGate anywhere in the world, feel free to refer to your manual or go to www.gogogate.com. I hope you enjoy your GoGoGate.